Hi everyone, good morning. So, as part of the today's session, we are going to see a brief introduction on the various assertions you can add to your karate test script. So, let's go back here. So, if you remember, this is the sample example that we have created. If you observe here, then status 200. So here, this is a kind of an assertion that we have already implemented. The meaning is the outcome from this particular API status code should be 200. That's what the assertion you are doing here. To cross check what I'm doing means, let me run my class first of all. I'm just running my runner class first, the previous script that we have created. And if you observe the console, the response code is 200, and even it's matching with this particular response code. For suppose what I'm doing right now means wantedly. Okay, so wantedly, I'm changing my response code to 400. So the meaning is then 400. Upon executing this particular API request, verify from the script, we are saying that the response code should be 400. That's what we are specifying from the script. And when the script got executed successfully, it will show an error message in the console. See here, this is the log which has the clear cut information. See, basically error. This is the error. The status code was a 200, whereas the expected was a 400. See, whenever I'm executing this API, I got a response as a 200, but as part of your feature file, you are expecting it as a 400, which is not one and the same. So this is the basic assertion that we have already implemented in the scenario. One thing out over here is once, okay, that's fine. We have the basic response code verification. Now you need to verify the response body, whether we are getting the appropriate response or not. We need to validate the response body. So what I'm going to do right now means whatever the response we are getting from this API, okay, let me copy that response first of all. Okay, let me scroll down to the console. Yeah, this is what my response is. Just copy the response. This is not in a proper JSON format. Hence, I am going to Google, and here I'm just searching for JSON format.org. And here I'm placing my JSON body response here. Automatically, it's coming in a proper format. See here, in the previous session, we have already seen about a JSON object and as well as a JSON array. See, basically, this is a complete JSON object which has a coordinate and even it is an array, and whether it is of an array type. Basically, weather is of an array type, and the weather description contains a few clouds. As per the previous assertion techniques that we have used on a JSN, I just want to implement the similar kind of an assertion here also. So, in order to do any kind of an assertions in karate, so there is, if you scroll down to the go down to the karate official website, and if you scroll down here, there is a separate classes basically that we have to validate the bunch of assertions whatever we have. Okay, in order to validate the bunch of assertions, we have these many methods are there. Match equal to, match contains. So let me click on a match contains. So whenever I clicked on a match contains, match contains, does it has this value or not? We are going to verify. Fine. So what I'm going to do right now is let me go back to my feature file. Okay. And what I'm going to do, match. So what exactly the match you are going to verify in the response? Okay, from the response, if you can compare the response body here, inside the response, weather is of an array type. So from the weathers, from the response, you have a weathers. And inside the weathers, there is a 0th index basically. So which is going to be the first index and the description. What exactly the description is there? Dot a description. Okay, this is going to get that particular description, but you need to compare that particular description. Hence, I am using a contains. What is there in that description? Few clouds. Copy that, go back here and place it here. So the assertion, what we are doing from the response, whatever the weather array is there, go to the zeroth array in which get the description and check whether it contains a few clouds or not. Let me try to run my test script and see what exactly it is returning to the console. So let me maximize here and see basically the scenarios it got executed and one got a pass. The assertion is passed. For suppose what I'm doing right now means I know the description is a few clouds. So here wantedly I'm changing to Surendra Jagannatham. I'm just changing it to my name. So I know the API is not having this value, but wantedly I give my name out over there. And when I run my test script as a JUnit test, if you see that the comparisons now, see, let me execute here. See this response. The scenarios were one, passed were zero, and failed were one. Why it got a failed? This is the error reason behind the failure. If you scroll towards right, whether description. This is the assertion it's getting failed. So dollar dot. So here we can use either response dot or dollar dot to get a JSON response basically. So dollar dot whether of a zero dot a description actually is a few clouds. Basically that value is a few clouds and you are expecting Surendra Jagannatham which is not same, hence it got a failed. Okay, both are not same, hence it got a fail. So I changed my to few clouds or assume that it has a Surendra Jagannatham. Okay, and here the contains, right, we can add an exclamatory mark here which is not contains the description, not contains Surendra Jagannatham. Of course it not contains Surendra Jagannatham. And when I run my test script this time my script will show as a success itself. The reason is that the assertion we are using is a not a contains. Whenever you use a not a contains, it's not going to verify that particular stuff. Okay, good. So this is the way how exactly you can match this one. And moreover, what you can do is assume that my requirement as per the karate documentation itself, I can see for a particular field whether it is a string or not, what exactly the data type it is. Even we can validate all those assertions also. Hash string, it means the response is a string. Okay, hash number, whether it is a number or not. You can use these kinds of assertions also. So for now, if you observe here, the description is a string, right? So what I'm going to do now means and match response dot weather of a zero dot description. Of course, that's fine, which is equal to, I know it's a string. So here hash and it's a string, hash string. So I'm just comparing it out over there. Now, let me try to run my test script and see whether this assertion is getting passed or not. In the karate index itself, basically, it will give you all the details, what types of assertions you can add it out over there. Hash string, hash number, all those things you can add it out over there. We have in that documentation also. See here, both are passed. For suppose what I'm doing right now means I know it's a string, but here I'm giving it as a number, hash number. And now when I run my script, the description is a string, but I'm comparing with a number. When I run my script here, this time this assertion will show as a failure basically. Okay, this assertion will show as a failure, failed basically. The reason is here the above line will show that description action is a few clouds. Few clouds is a string, but you are comparing with a number which is not equal, hence it got a failed. Okay, which is not equal, hence it got a fail. So this is the way how can you add a basic assertions out over there. Okay, you can add a basic assertions out over there. Fine. We'll see few more assertions in upcoming sessions. Okay. Thank you guys. See you again in the next session. Bye bye.